Hey, let me ask you about two guys, though, that potentially could come back in the next couple of weeks. We talked about it earlier, Foster Moreau and Taysom Hill opening that 21-day window where they can come out there and practice. What's the latest on them, and what do you think that those two players can help this offense achieve when they do get back?
Yeah, I don't think I was supposed to see it, but when I was going out there yesterday, like they were working out on a side field, and like Taysom was like running routes, like, and it looked like at full speed. So I think he's extremely close. I think Foster's been ready to go. I mean, big talent added to the team. I mean, tight end. I don't feel like they've gotten a ton out of it. I'm going to be fascinated really to see what they do with Taysom, because like I think obviously you have to get him involved. He's one of your best playmakers on offense. But I wonder how deep into it they go. I wonder if they use him more in like traditional positions, or are you trying to like build a whole Taysom package and be extremely unique and all that stuff around him? With a guy that's not going to be here for probably, I would guess this is probably very, very close to the end of the road. So like I'm just going to be curious to see if like Moore tries to build like an identity that he can keep building upon, or like you go in centralized Taysom as a central piece of your offense, kind of the way Kubiak did last year, and then you're screwed then when he gets hurt again, and you have trouble bringing it back. So I don't know how they put him into it, but like I think he obviously has to be a part of it, and I think he's going to be, I think he's one of the few guys on that offense that I think can be a reason you're winning games. So I'm curious to see it, but I also Foster, I think huge upgrade. Obviously one of the better blocking tight ends on the team. He can, you trust him to make some critical catches down the stretch last year. I think his pass catching ability was really underrated. Like they had all the injuries and they kind of had to turn to him, and I felt like he stepped up big down the stretch. So and I think Rattler has a lot of chemistry with him, so that would be possibly a very, very good addition for the team.
Yeah, Nick, we asked you about, I think last week we asked you about who's the vocal leader on offense, and to me, like even just from a psychological effect of getting Taysom Hill back, getting Foster Moreau back, to me, those are guys that can immediately step in and take over that role of being the vocal guy. It's hard to do it when you're sidelined with an injury, but like they get to step in a huddle. I feel like bring a little bit of weight behind their voice, weight behind them if they are going to get onto the offensive line or whoever it is. But like they bring a little bit that extra, like that it factor to that psychologically can help everybody, especially a young quarterback, especially a unit that has been struggling a little bit. I think it's going to be a good call, like a psychological effect. And to that point, your answer last week on the vocal leaders of the offense, Cesar Ruiz gets hurt. He's out for, 3 to 5 weeks, something like that. And you got a guy, am I saying this name right? Torselli Simpkins?
Man, yeah. Yeah, and I guess Foster was out of sight, out of mind when we were talking about that. But, I mean, he's maybe the biggest standard bearer that like the way he is at practice, the way he gets on guys, the way he leads, like it stands out among, like, anybody I've ever seen on a field. And, I was around the 2010s Patriots and, these Saints with Drew Brees and, all them guys. Like Foster's, like head-cracking leadership, like holding people to a standard, I think is on par with, like, anybody I've seen. So, yeah, it just that aspect of getting him on the field around a young team, that they got the penalties cleaned up, but, like, stuff like that. Like, he's somebody that you just hear, like, tearing into people for messing up the details. And I think that helps, especially when you have this type of, coach that's, kind of more laid back personality, having a player that can kind of be your bulldog and you don't got to ask him to show up as the bulldog. I think is quietly a big deal.
All right, there he is, our guy, Nick Underhill, neworleans.football, joins us every single Tuesday here on the show. Nicholas, one of these days we are going to have you on, and we're going to be celebrating a Saints victory, and it might come this week against the Giants, and so we look forward to that day.
You got to beat the Giants.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
When the Saints get that win, we're going to get you on video call.
Yeah, for sure.
So we can see the
all right, is that
joy
a deal?
in your face.
It's the Saints win. We got to get you on video. Deal?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Perfect. All right, appreciate it, Nick.
All right, later, guys.